Welcome. I'm Sheila Balgobin, principal of Simply Improve Health, and I help people to train better and longer and recover more quickly, have improved sleep, and enjoy general better quality of health using simple plant-based products and simple techniques. This evening subject comes from an incident um, that made me recall the adage that there's only 6 degrees of separation between everyone on the planet. Well, that seems hard to believe with 7 billion plus people, but it's actually, I'm finding it's quite true. And I'll explain by giving you a couple of examples. One was from a few years ago when I was making my essences, Spirit of Makasutu essences in Gambia, where the bulk of them have been made. Over the 5-year period that I was going back and forth and making the essences, I became friendly with certain people with whom we're still friendly to this day. But in one particular instance, the gentleman was saying to us, a businessman, "Oh, my wife and daughter are living in London." And I flippantly said, "I bet you they live next door." As it out, they live down the street, literally live down the street. Somebody that I met thousands of miles away had somebody that, unbeknownst to me, lived right next door to me. Another example that I'll give you that is more recent is a post that I put up not too long ago showing off a hat and shoes that I had bought on a day out with a girlfriend. Now, the funny thing about that, people have been making all kinds of lovely comments and sending emojis and whatnot, and thank you all for those. That's been lovely to receive all of those lovely comments from you. But the person with whom I went out for the day and bought the hat and shoes um, made a comment. I replied. Her mother replied. Her mother's in Brazil. She's here in London. And then a friend, unbeknownst to me, knew the mother in Brazil, and they live not too far from each other, which got me to thinking that this so-called 6 degrees of separation between people isn't nearly as outlandish or ridiculous as you might think. I mean, it's three people, two of which are related, one that was totally unrelated, but through me, they were able to connect with one another. Strange thing. And I think if you look in your own lives, you'll find that that's true. I mean, Facebook is a good example of that. I mean, you get friend requests from friends of friends of friends of friends of friends, and it's like, the grandmother spider that I talked about in some lives some time ago, where that web of connection, whether you're talking about the internet or just picking up the phone, encourages us to develop and extend our reach, our net, if you will, our webs, our individual webs, so that it's not inconceivable that someone that you know in one country actually knows somebody else that you know in that same country, and or some other permutation. My point being is that maybe we need to look at this so-called 6 degrees of separation as an opportunity of congregation instead. Because I find that in my work, or in anything you do in life, it's about having contacts and having relationship and being connected to other people. So that those 6 degrees of separation that separate us from the other 7 billion people on the planet are opportunities, not opportunities for separation, but opportunities for congregation, for coming together, to do work together, to make new friends, to put people in connection. In the early days of the internet, I found a cousin of mine through an electronic bulletin board for genealogists. She happened to be living in Germany at the time with her husband, who was in the military. Now, it was exactly in extending my web, so to speak, my reach and contacting, that I was able to catch up with this cousin of mine, until she finally moved back to the States, and it was a lot easier. But it's important that you don't look, well, it's important that you look for opportunities to come together, to extend your business, to extend your friendships and deepen them. Not just to have what I call your 2,000 Facebook friends, most of whom you have never spoken to and probably will never know. No, relationships, true relationships, the ones that will really sustain you, um, take time, take outreach, take effort. Some relationships kind of fall in your lap, and that's great. Some of them beneficial, others of them not. But taking the time to look at those 6 degrees, and really examine them, you'll find some real gems out there. You'll find a lot of schlock as well. There's a lot of garbage out there that you really don't need to be dealing with. But you have to be discerning with it as well. You have to not just accept people because they reach out to you. No, make sure that it's a compatible fit. It's like trying on shoes. Not every pair, even if they look hot, it's not every pair that's going to feel good on you as well as look good. So I'd just like you to take on board that, and to think about where, perhaps you're cutting yourself off from connection and congregation, by looking for the 6 degrees of separation. Don't look for them. They'll come to you. The people and things that need to come into your life to help you to grow and to be the best you can be will be there, when they need to be there. But you have to make yourself available. So get out there, make yourself available. And instead of seeking separation, seek congregation with like-minded people who will be there to support you and really become true friends and not just superficial ones. That's it for me. I hope you found that useful. If you have any comments, I'm always happy to respond to them. So please leave your comments. If you want to leave emojis, fire away. I'm always happy to receive those too. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great evening and a wonderful week, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.